contained on an uneven square, rectangular top structure. But just because, now, if you were saying because the Bible says the earth has 4 corners, well, shit, you know, it's about 6 or 7 types of shapes that has 4 corners. So that don't necessarily mean it have to be a square. It don't necessarily mean it has to be a rectangle. Okay, it could be any of those other polygons that also have 4 corners. Okay, but as we can see, based on the levels of the oceans, based on the mountainous regions, which you can see on this topographical map, where the orange regions, those are the mountain regions. It's uneven. It's not flat. Okay, when we talking about you know, many of the flat earthers is trying to say that Geb is flat, and you can right there see right angles in his knee, okay, which shows vertical, which will prove that he's not flat. So I don't know how you try to get that out of there. When you see them right angles in his arms, you see them in his leg. So this is not a even or leveled structure, okay? It's very uneven, okay? So people got to do better with their math, okay? Right here, the earth was not fixed. Wait a minute, I ain't gonna put that part in there. But just look at Geb. When you look at Geb, you can see the right angles. Right angles automatically. You got vertical, up and down, okay? Which is, vertical is the opposite of horizontal. Okay, I don't know what the fuck y'all niggas talking about. So where you see his arm is valley. You see, that's valley, that's depth. Okay, then you see his knee represent height. That's vertical, vertical height. And then you got his arm, vertical depth. Okay, any type of vertical up and down is the opposite of horizontal. Okay, cannot be considered flat at all. Okay, so you niggas need to go back into basic geometry, or go get a geometry for dummies. Okay, Geb is not flat. I don't know how y'all get that out of that. This is not even supposedly a mathematics. This is dealing with human emotion. It's showing the masculine and feminine energy, always pulling towards one another, even throughout the universe. So this wasn't meant to be a mathematical cosmic equation. This is a more human emotion, okay? And man seeing his, you know, the feminine and the masculine energy all throughout the universe, which keeps the universe in balance, okay? But this was not meant for people to take to prove that the earth is flat, because he's not flat, okay? I don't know if y'all understand what it means, and we're going to keep going over that, okay? Again, looking to the right, where you see that this is trick science, trick imagery, okay? You're not going to have vertical north and vertical south on something that's flat. So this is superimposed a globe. They took the globe, cut and pasted. I mean, they cut and pasted it. I ain't gonna say cut and pasted, but what they call that when you get the background out of it, okay? And then you superimpose it on a flat surface and put the wall of ice around it to make it look flat. But when you look at the continents, you can see they not flat. This is actually a globe from the top. So it's a trick. That's the only way they can try to prove that they can circumnavigate. And you will look at it and say, yeah, I can see how, because it's actually a globe. That's the only reason why, not because it's flat. So if you look to the left, if you was looking down on the earth, the continent should be on top of the circle, not with vertical depth going down like it's on the globe. Y'all motherfuckers getting the 3-car Molly put on y'all ass, okay? Is the ocean floor flat like your bathtub? Of course not. It has topographical features the same as land. Yet most relief maps show the oceans with no topography. So even at the depths of the ocean, it's uneven, okay? So that proves beyond all reasonable doubt that the earth is not flat. And like I said, and with circumnavigation, that destroys that, because you cannot circumnavigate anything that's flat. Okay, you can only circumnavigate something that's spherical. Okay, we're looking at the Grand Canyon. Okay, now you can look at the very tops of the mountains. You can ride up in your car on that. Okay, but I tell you what, keep going when you get to the edge of that goddamn cliff and see what happened to your ass. Your ass gonna come crashing down to the bottom of that motherfucker. You know why? Because it's uneven. Okay? Flat is even. The opposite of even is uneven. So that right there will prove beyond any reasonable doubt that even if we was under a dome, even if we were contained at the top of any, whatever, if it's a circle, if it's a square, it would not make no difference. It's still not flat. So we should kill that today. Okay? So what am I saying when you look at, if you look again on this map and you look and you see that little piece of land all the way right at the bottom up under Australia is New Zealand. Okay? If this was a flat earth, a square, a rectangle, if you sail from South America going towards Australia, going east, okay, going east, if you get to Australia, the only way to get back to South America would be to turn around and double back. That's the only way, the only choice you got on a flat earth theory. But we all know that if you keep going east from New Zealand, that eventually you will come on the other side, coming west, and hit South America in about 8 hours. You don't have to double back, you dumbass fool. So you cannot circumnavigate anything flat, whether it's circle, whether it's square, whether it's rectangle. So that destroys it being flat, anything, okay? And you cannot circumnavigate a cube. You cannot circumnavigate a triangle, okay? You can circumnavigate a globe, okay? Let me get out of this. Right there, showing you that a circle does not have corners. So you have discrepancies within the book which gave birth to the flat earth theory, okay? It don't want to make up its mind whether the motherfucker a circle, whether it's a square, is the sun above the earth, is the sun below the earth? Can the sun go beneath the horizon? Is the motherfucking dome a remote control and you can hit a button and the motherfucker open up and the sun and moon can exit from up under the dome to create a lunar eclipse? How does that work? Okay, so here's all the shapes with 4 corners and edges. It's called quadrilateral family. Okay, so these is all the shapes that have 4 corners. So just because the Bible says that it has 4 corners, it never said that it was a square. Okay, it never said that it was a square or a rectangle. It could be a rhombus. It could be a kite. It could be a quadrilateral. It could be a trapezoid. Okay, a parallelogram. Okay, so it could be either one of those shapes. So the fact that you can't even come to any type of clarity on what the fuck it look like, okay, you don't have no clarity. And so we can't go into chaos with you goddamn flat earth motherfucker. So if we already disprove that image you looking at, when you're looking at the continents, is trick imagery. That is actually the image of how the continents would look on the globe, and they then superimposed it on a flat circle to make it look like that the earth is flat. But when you look at the continents, you can see you got vertical depth, and you can only have it on something that's a globe. Fool ass niggas. So when you're looking at this, you see that the sun and the moon is above the earth in a set cycle. So how do you get 4 seasons in one damn cycle? God damn it. How do you get 4 seasons in one damn cycle? So when you read in the Bible about the sun rising and the sun setting, the sun would never rise, nor never would it set on the flat earth model, because it's fixed above the earth. It would never look like it's setting. It would never look like it's rising. So again, right there, you have contradiction within the book that gave birth to the flat earth theory. Okay? And I'm just telling you all the other crazy shit they believe in. Okay? So you can see the sun setting and rising beneath the horizon. How the fuck can it go beneath the horizon if it's under the dome? If it's under the dome, it can't leave and go beneath the horizon. It would crash into the damn earth. So if you see the sun setting and you see it rising, that disproves that is set above the earth in the cycle that the flat earthers believe. It disproves that there's a dome, that the earth cannot leave from, that the sun cannot leave from with under the dome. That disproves that. So there is no dome, okay? And that the sun is not in the cycle that the flat earthers portray, because it can drop below the horizon, and disproves that totally, okay? Ecclesiastics, okay? Also, the sun rises and the sun sets, and it hastens to its place. It rises there again. That disproves that the sun is set above the earth in the side, because if it can rise and it can set, that means it has to drop below the horizon, which means it can't be no dome. It can't be above the damn, first and foremost, it can't be above the earth, small like they portray it, just because it got to be able to go up under the earth. Okay, and the only way it's going to be able to do that is going to have to be outside of the dome. Okay, it has to be outside of the dome to be able to drop below the horizon. Okay, so now you got a discrepancy, because you got verses in the Bible that's saying that the sun is rising and that the sun is setting. You have discrepancies within the book that gave birth to the flat earth theory. Okay, so here again, we looking at how the cycle of the sun and the moon above the earth. It is always above the earth. It would never look like it's dropping below the horizon. So if you see the sun setting and you see the sun rising from beneath that horizon, that proves that it's not in that cycle right there before us, and that there's no dome over the damn earth blocking the sun. It's on the outside of the damn that the earth's atmosphere, far outside of it. All right. So here, some flat earther put this garbage together, saying that the sun and the moon is 3,000 miles up over the earth. They can't be, you got to be kidding me. Nigga, we've been in planes that go up 30,000. We be so far above the God. I know this cannot be true. I cannot believe these people are this ignorant. Okay, you cannot be that goddamn. It cannot be 3 miles. Stop playing. Okay, it cannot be this one right here. Y'all gonna have to do better than that, because you know damn well you could go up 3,000 miles. Some of the the planes we be on be 30-some miles, 30,000 miles up in the air. Okay, so this right here is impossible. The sun could not leave the protective dome in the flat Earth theory. So how can it drop below the horizon? If the sun dropped below the horizon on a flat Earth, the whole planet would go into darkness. Okay, so if you're on something flat and the goddamn sun dropped below the horizon, let's just assume that there's no dome on it, and it dropped, the whole goddamn planet would go into darkness. Shit, the damn moon is reflecting the light of the sun. So if we living on a flat Earth at the top of a structure that you have yet to identify, because you can't tell us what the structure look like. Okay, you got discrepancies again, whether it's a circle, whether it's a square, whether the sun can rise or set, whether the sun and moon is above the earth. If it is above the earth, it can't rise or set. So y'all motherfuckers are chaotic thinkers. Y'all have no proof whatsoever of any type of flat earth, in any form, any geometrical shape. You don't have no proof of it. The sun and moon are in fixed positions 3,000 miles above the earth. It will never look like the sun dropped below the horizon. So if this sun